We now join our scheduled program already in progress.
East 41-14 over Dallas. In Cleveland, the Browns and Steelers went to OT, and in the extra session, Bernie Kosar hits Webster Slaughter for a 36-yard touchdown. Cleveland wins it 37-31. Elsewhere, the Bengals over the Vikings by 4. San Francisco blanked Atlanta. The Rams doubled the score against the Saints. Seattle by 4 over Philly. St. Louis wins the Battle of Missouri. New England by 3 over Buffalo, and the Colts dropped to 0-12. Houston beat them by 2 TDs today. A light schedule in the NBA this evening. Houston playing at Philadelphia. The Rockets in red. Rodney McRae has his shot blocked by Roy Hinson. Cliff Robinson with the rebound ahead to Maurice Cheeks. He feeds the doctor for the basket. Julius Erving had 23. Charles Barkley returned to the lineup after being out with a ruptured spleen for 9 games. The Spectrum crowd loved it. Barkley had some problems coming out of the starting blocks. Oops. Down he goes. However, the round mound of rebound did finish with 12 points. Here a vintage baseline slam. Philly wins it 114-104. Isaiah Thomas fined $1,500 for that fight with Dudley Bradley of the Bucks earlier this month. And coming up on Final Edition, a special treat. Jim Harbaugh and Andy Moeller will join us here in the studio for a recap, reliving that wonderful Wolverine triumph that sent them to the Rose Bowl yesterday.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Still to come tonight, Rick Griffin has the forecast for the week ahead.
And we'll tell you why a former football great is turning his attention to drug abuse.
In New Zealand today, Pope John Paul II celebrated Mass for 25,000 people, and he urged world leaders to set aside ideological differences. The Pope leaves that country tomorrow for a 6-day trip to Australia. He told today's crowd that peace anywhere in the world is possible only if there is peace of the heart first. This year is designated as the United Nations International Year of Peace, yet the nations of the world are spending a record $900 billion on weapons this year. That breaks down to $1 million spent every minute, according to a news report. The U.S. ranks first in spending. The Soviet Union is second. Bob?
National Football League hero Carl Eller, once a leader of the Minnesota Vikings Purple People Eaters, talked about his addiction to drugs and alcohol today at a substance abuse conference in Warren. The former football great told how drugs had cost him his family, friends, and career until he beat the habit. The conference offered help in recognizing and fighting addiction. Detroit Metropolitan Airport is preparing to handle hordes of holiday travelers this week. Anyone off for a Thanksgiving trip should plan on getting there early, 2 hours early if you've got to park, move baggage, and handle tickets. The airport has established a hotline for parking information. The tow trucks will be working, so call ahead to 942-3838 and save yourself a ticket.
The people who planned Detroit's Thanksgiving Day Parade were honored today for their hard work. An open house was held today to thank parade supporters, and the planning isn't over yet. There are still 4 days of hard work. The parade starts Thursday morning at 9:30 and features more than 30 floats.
Marine scientists are celebrating a gathering of rare blue whales off Monterey, California. The deep-sea beasts, Earth's largest creatures ever, are gorging themselves on tiny shrimp-like crustaceans called krill. The whales can eat up to 8 tons of krill a day. At least 30 of the big blues have been spotted, a good sign for creatures close to extinction just 20 years ago.
Sounds like they have good appetite, at least. They're healthy.
It's supposed to be the most spectacular sight of whales in years off California.
I'll bet you it is. Coming up next, Rick Griffin gives us a colder, drier forecast.
And we'll show you a reason some people have to celebrate winter.
The strike of steelworkers at USX Corporation is nearing a record as one of the longest strikes in steelworking history, but the spirit of giving has not died entirely. The union leadership is doing its best to keep the spirit of Thanksgiving alive by passing out turkeys to the striking workers. 2,500 turkeys were handed out to the workers who have been locked out of their plants.
Well, the ski show's in town this week. People are getting their one-horse sleighs ready to go to grandmother's for Thanksgiving. You got any snow in the forecast here, Rick Griffin?
You know, Thanksgiving week is kind of notorious for bad weather, isn't it? We don't have any major storms this week, a few minor ones maybe, but that's good news for the travelers anyway. And no storms tonight, just cloudy skies, kind of breezy out there, gusty winds at the moment, up 23 miles an hour. The temperature at City Airport's 41, at Metro a degree lower at 40 degrees, 89% the relative humidity, and the barometer's rising. Today's high 46, same as Saturday, 44 is the normal, And the record high established back in 1931, 69 degrees, and just a little bit of rain during this Sunday, about 300s. Mainly it was just kind of a drizzly day, but you might agree it was not quite as nice as the first half of the weekend. Around the state tonight, it's in the 30s everywhere except Metro, where it's 40, 35 up at Houghton Lake, 38 at Alpena to the west, and even freezing at Green Bay, and 1 degree below freezing at Chicago tonight, while Marquette is sitting at 28 degrees. On the satellite picture, cloudy skies. Under the clouds, a few spots of drizzle here in the southern sections of the state, and there are a couple of widely scattered flurries across the northern sections of the lower peninsula and the UP, but nothing significant. We might have a flurry tomorrow morning, but it should be just a very passing, very scattered type of thing. Here's a cold front. This is the front that came by during the day today that kept us kind of cloudy with scattered showers around. The heaviest rain with the fronts down through the central and southern plain states and the lower Mississippi Valley. And earlier today around Houston, there was a tornado as the cold front came on through. Florida's still dry. Much of the southwest is dry tonight, but in the northwest, it's been a very stormy Sunday. Heavy rains, 3 to 5 inches of rain in some locations as a big Pacific storm system comes on shore. Heaviest rain tonight, though, on U.S. radar is over the lower Mississippi Valley and southeast Texas again. Showers extend up into West Virginia and Pennsylvania and parts of southern New York State, and some scattered patches of rain through the northwestern section of the nation. Great Lakes area is dry. At least radar is not picking up the few widely scattered flurries or light snow that's taking place tonight across the upper peninsula. High temperatures on Monday, not looking too bad again over the southeast. Lots of 80s, a few 90s over Florida once again. Fort Myers today, 95 degrees for the hottest spot in the nation. Also a record high temperature for Sunday. Chilly in the Rockies. Southwest area looks pretty good. Monday for us, a little cooler than today. We're talking about low 40s in the afternoon, but after some morning clouds, we should see some sun by the second half of the day. Rest of tonight, though, mostly cloudy. A scattered snow flurry possible towards daybreak. Overnight lows 31 to 34 degrees. Tomorrow, a chance of a snow flurry early in the morning, then partly cloudy or partly sunny if you want to look optimistically on Monday. 41 to 44 the high. Tuesday, looking good. Partly sunny and 50 to 53. And since we were talking about Thanksgiving, the long-range outlook is for partly sunny skies and temperatures in the 40s.
Good.
Fair enough. Good. Thank you, Rick. Well, the Detroit Ski Show wrapped up 3 days at Cobo Hall today. A look at the latest equipment, prices, and trends in the downhill biz. This year, the fashion show was a bit more, shall we say, up-tempo, clothes in action, as it were. But apparel was only part of the ski show, which featured an equipment sale and exhibits of resorts, shops, tours, clubs, and, of course, the very latest skis. That's our report this Sunday. Thanks for joining us on this late edition.
Coming up tomorrow on News 4, the plastic nightmare. Consumer reporter Ann Thompson examines credit card fraud in Detroit.
For Deb, Rick, Jim, the entire News 4 team, have a good week ahead. Good night.
Good night.